Is this an artist going through an unfortunate situation and therefore being unable to deliver commissions, or is this something more? Let's delve into the situation of this artist, dearest Sage, in the bookish space. And again, before we get into it, please be respectful and don't send hate to any parties involved. So, this kicked off essentially on threads with a bunch of discourse between artists, kind of hinting, hey, there's this artist that I commissioned, kind of didn't get my stuff, blah, 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 blah. People started convening a little bit more. So, there is this author, Abigail Schmitz, writing, authors, I need advice. An artist I commissioned a while back was taking a while on my art, so I was checking in recently. She was already paid, but has now deleted her entire account. This wasn't an overnight thing. I commissioned in January and she's been communicating back and forth for a while. I'm just worried that I'm out of what I paid now. Help. So somebody asks, do you have a way to contact her to ask for a refund? And the author says it was all through Instagram, so no. Another person says, normally you can speak to your bank and dispute the payment as you never receive what you paid. If they sent you an invoice, there should be terms on the invoice which you can also use as proof. Did you pay the full amount or half? And the author says, full. That to me is already a bit of a red flag. Whenever you're asked to pay upfront in full for a service, I think it's a bit of a red flag. Now, again, I do think that artists should be paid somewhat before, a project has been worked on, because there are situations where people cancel midway and then you spent time working on this project and you should get paid fairly for it. So what people will do is like a half upfront and then half finish, etc., like that. But when an artist asks for full payment upfront, sometimes it can lead to a situation where, whether intentionally or not, the artist is unable to deliver the commission, but then they spent the money. So now they will be unable to deliver the refund because the money was spent. It just leads to a really tricky situation all around. Typically, it's a lot safer to do half upfront. And again, I'm not blaming the author at all, because like paying a full upfront, you're trying to support your artist. This is just to protect you. But another person in the comment said, hi, as far as I know, Sage's account was suspended and she's trying to reach everyone now through emails. So the author says, thank you. And it kind of looked like it ended there. And a couple days ago, another person made a post. This person's name is Marie. And they write, I never thought I would post this one day, but I just got scammed by an artist. She took my deposit and disappeared. She was supposed to work on my commission this month, but she deactivated her account. Messages aren't available anymore, but if anybody recognizes her or her work, please help. I don't know what to do. I included her Wise payment info. She is from the Philippines and she was always posting about needing help to pay for her cat's vet bills. So this is an example of her artwork, and these are some messages. So this artist sells also like pre-mades. So OP writes, I'm so jealous of the person that got her and sent a pre-made. I wanted this art so much, haha. I hope you make more pre-made portraits. This is amazing. Some of the messages from Sage we can't see because the account is gone, but they're messaging back and forth. And then Sage says, I will update you, love. So it kind of looks like they're talking about a commission that's due. Then in June, OP writes, hello, I hope you're doing better. I saw what you're going through and I feel for you. Heartbreak is difficult. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I saw you're a bit behind on clients too. Please let me know if you don't think you'll be able to make it on the date we set so I can prepare and find somebody else so I can publish my book on time. And Sage says, no worries, love. I will start our project on June 11th. And Ophi says, great. Thank you for the update. And they had paid 150 USD. They also add, her at was dearest Sage. Another person says, is it Sage something? From what I've seen, there are mentions of their account getting suspended so they can't reach people. A friend was trying to get word around, but I don't know what came about it. And OP says, yes, that's her. I don't know, but if her account was suspended, she could have still reached out another way. It still sounds a bit dodgy. I'm so sad. I really trusted her. And the commenter says, that's all I know, unfortunately. I'm guessing she was doing business through Instagram DMs, so she can't email clients. A lot of people posted about her, and another artist said it was her account getting suspended and she doesn't know how to reach out. And OP says, no worries, thank you. As far as I'm concerned, I'll report my transaction and see where the investigation will lead. This is not normal. She has my name. She can find me easily on Instagram. Thank you very much. And like, I do agree, it's really frustrating if you have a commission in the works and the artist's account just disappears out of nowhere. I mean, random suspensions can happen. It's not the most frequent thing to happen to artists specifically. From what I see, it happens a lot more to people who do like cosplay or like OF content, because Instagram is very restrictive in those regards. Can randomly happen to artists though, but still, if you have like hundreds of dollars tied up in multiple commissions, because this is the cheapest one that I've seen so far, most of them in the upper hundreds, closer to like 700, 800, I would maybe hope you would put some enthusiasm in reaching out to communicate, because that's a lot of money. up in the air. But we also don't know about circumstances. And from what it looks like, that the artist was in some situations where they had a close relative pass away alongside their cat being ill. There are also situations where there have been cases, I'm not saying in this case, but there have been cases where artists have made up situations to make excuses for why they're late on things, right? But sometimes life is weird, and when it rains, it pours. I mean, personally, my cats recently got sick, and I have a close family member that had 2 strokes. So when it rains, it pours. Sometimes it happens. But more stuff came out. We have another user, a user on Threads named the 336 Writer. Writing, if you were taking commissions by email as of recent and you can't answer my email about my over $900 worth of commissions, then yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna be extra pissed off because you may be sympathetic with you while you probably weren't planning on finishing the work I paid you for. I'm starting to get less and less sympathetic, Sage, and I'm starting to get mad. Please don't pee me off because I'm gonna get my money back. This is about Dearest Sage. And again, because the artist is in the Philippines, the bank transfers happen through Wise. Wise will most likely deny your report, so you're probably going to have to dispute it with your bank. I'm seeing other authors looking for their commissions, and there's likely more than that. You can't give me my commission, nor can you actually give me what I commissioned. You allegedly copied the poses and the structures of your pre-mades by tracing other people's artwork, which interesting. You don't answer emails from people who paid you money, but you can send me messages to try to hurry me because you haven't gotten payment yet for some stuff that you weren't going to do anyway. You had people sign up for a platform to send you money. The platform was Wise because your PayPal was most likely, to my knowledge, flagged as fraudulent. You were so quick to add up what I will have to pay you with commercial fees, but you weren't ever going to do it, were you? Okay, I'm actually ticked off. So their commission actually started in January, where in January, Sage is super enthusiastic, hey, still haven't received the payment, love. And the author is like, hey, oh, let me redo. Hey, I sent it. It's under my Wise. I'll send a screenshot. And Sage, was doing the math for how much the commission would cost, 516 USD. And OP adds the next day, they write, so like I posted yesterday, Dearest Sage got a lot of money from authors that commissioned her and have not delivered us the commissions that we were supposed to get. 2 of my disputes were denied, so I'm indeed out of $700. Mine failed, but if your bank or your card processor that you used to pay for is more lenient, try and dispute your payments because Wise won't get your money back. I'm gonna cry now. Oh my God. So this one was for $683 and the other one was for $100 that was also denied. So it's a total of actually like 800. Oh man. Another person says, this might be the 3rd one that I saw with this amount of money. I am so sorry this happened. And the author says, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that high because I had like 5 character portraits. On top of things, it's not like I'm wealthy. So most of that was stuff that I saved up for. So it stings more. I'm just going to try to work and move forward because if I mope, I won't make money. Another person suggests calling Wise, but unfortunately in the author situation, because Sage received the money and it was beyond 60 days, Wise can't get the money back. Another person says, damn, I saw on her Instagram that she was going through a lot of financial and personal problems, but this is like the 4th person who hasn't received any of their commissions in months, and it's a nasty situation. I'm so sorry. And next up, we have another person. So this is an author named Author Michelle Love, writing, let me start by saying I am not here to hate, merely enlighten other authors so they can be aware. I commissioned Dearest Sage January 2026 for 2 pre-made commissions. They said I'd have them in mid-March. I paid $700 upfront for these pieces. They never came. Sage kept giving excuses, and for the most part, I was understanding and patient. Unfortunately, I became increasingly frustrated when Sage kept posting about taking new commissions and pre-mades while my pieces were significantly behind, as were some people's from 2025. Whether this was intentional or merely circumstance from somebody young and unprofessional, no one can say. At the end of May, I told Dearest Sage I wanted a refund. She told me she would send it in 30 days. A few days after I sent that message requesting a refund, her Insta disappeared. She did reach out to me through email, telling me she hadn't ghosted me. She hasn't responded to my emails, and I haven't gotten a refund. At this point, I disputed it with Wise. They denied the dispute. I also submitted a dispute with my bank a few days ago, so we'll see what happens there. So attached were DMs, where the author messages, hey, I saw your post about poses, not sure if you filled up slots yet, but I was interested in doing both of these. So they have some options. And Sage says all slots are available. OP says they're going to go to sleep, but they're going to set up Wise tomorrow. And they say I can send full payment up front to help with the pet babies. And Sage says, thank you so much. So the author wanted 2 pre-mades, so it was going to be $700, and then Sage sends photos of her cat. So the Wise link was sent, which was to an account called JL Arts and Crafts, which another author had also posted, so we know this is Sage. Then the author said they submitted everything, they had to verify their stuff. Sage is super enthusiastic and is like, let me know the details whenever you're ready. I received the payment, love. So they're asking about when the art should be delivered. The author wants the art in maybe mid-March, but they're pretty flexible. Sage says, yep, March is doable, and they're going back and forth. Then the author sends some references. That was all in January. So now, 3 months later in April, the author's like, hey, I want to follow up on these 2 pieces. And Sage says, hey, with everything going on, I need to move some of my pendings. Is it okay if I finish yours on April 25th? I will start yours on the 20th if that's okay. The author says, that's perfectly okay. Thank you so much. April 26th, the author checks in. Hiya, I want to check in on the status. Sage says, hi, love, I will start yours today. So May 7th, an updated sketch was sent. And then, some more progress pictures were sent May 7th. Nothing else. So a couple weeks later, May 29th, the author checks in again and the artist likes it. And then Sage says, hi, love, so sorry for being behind. Recently, I lost power connection, which made it difficult for me to work. I want to assure you your commission is still a priority for me. I'm committed to finishing it within the first week of June if that works for you, love. But if you need me sooner, please let me know. I'm also doing other pendings in between. Please know I don't take the trust you've given me lightly. I'll be sending sketch updates tomorrow as well so you can see the progress and know I'm actively working on it. Thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. This will be the last time I will be adjusting our deadline and I will deliver no matter what. I won't disappoint you with the quality of my artwork in exchange for the delays. Heart, heart, heart. The author thanks for the update. And then nothing. So June 12th, the author finally is being frustrated, saying, hey, I paid you $700 for 2 artworks January 22nd, and I got nothing. There's multiple delays, no proactive communication. And at this point, the art that I commissioned can no longer be used to market the book, since the book is now out. You originally said the artwork would be delivered mid-March, and now it's June 12th. On May 30th, you processed sketch updates the next day and nothing. I want a full refund. And ghosted. That is so frustrating. Another person, author Katie West, writes, I also went through this with them. Most recently, they sent me a funeral announcement for a family member as an excuse. I also disputed with Wise and they can't do anything to get my money back since it was an international transaction, but they shut down their account. I have no hope in getting refunded at this point. Yes, right? Authors and everyone wants to be empathetic when things happen because sometimes life throws a screwball at you and there's nothing you can do. Sometimes, unfortunately, somebody gets sick, your pet gets ill, you have to take them to the vet. It happens. But from January until now, how are there so many things that are causing delays to where you can't manage that, Like a January commission was not completed. There was another January commission. There are April commissions that weren't completed. And these are all in the couple hundreds of dollars. And beyond not completed, nothing was sent. There wasn't even a sketch that was sent. We did see a progress photo, but the artist never received even a sketch, right? So on one hand, you want to be empathetic, but it does reach a point where it's kind of hey, where's the line? Because at this point, it's been a minute. And there were a few other people in the comments talking about their experience. Another person said, I'm so sorry to hear this. I commissioned Sage last year, and while there were some delays, I did get my art in the end. But I've seen a lot of posts about reasons for delays, and I've had other authors reach out to me who are in a similar situation. I'm really gutted to know this is happening. I'm now pretty much only using 2 artists I've used before as I know they're reliable. Another person said, I had a similar experience. Paid for some pre-mades last year. Excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they weren't ready yet while still offering pre-mades and new commissions. What are the odds all of this happens? Your cat is ill, your family member, unfortunately, I'm so sorry, had passed away. You take on a lot of commissions, can't complete any of them, and then also open up more pre-mades and more commissions at the same time. And then somehow your account unfairly gets suspended and your Wise account apparently is also suspended. What are the odds all of these are happening? And more so to me, this is starting to read a bit like a scammer because too many coincidences and it becomes something intentional. And now the artist is just gone. Their Instagram is gone. Their Threads account is gone. So what can these authors do at the end of the day? The best case is dispute it with their bank and hopefully the bank sides with them. Although already we've seen in some cases, unfortunately, the bank didn't. So that absolutely sucks, man. It just sucks that it can be a situation where people make away like this and then other people get left in the wake of their whole mess with trying to pick up the pieces, don't have the promo material for their books and are out hundreds of dollars. So What are your thoughts on this entire situation? Do you think it was like, unfortunate circumstance after unfortunate circumstance kind of spiraled out of hand? Or do you think this was something much more deliberate and much more malicious? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below with respect. Don't bully anybody. But man, this is such an awful experience for everyone involved. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide. I am working on some merch. I was going to release it soon and it's basically done. I need to add some pictures, but because my grandmother's ill, like I mentioned prior, keep her in your hearts, guys. It might end up being a little bit delayed. I might have some scuff videos from my family home. And with that, I hope to catch you guys in my Twitch streams or in another one of my videos. Peace.